Did you know that the Electoral College makes it so that not everybody's vote is equal? How could that be? We live in America. Everyone's supposed to be equal and have the same rights. But the Electoral College makes it so that it's not. I believe that we should abolish the Electoral College because of this reason and many more. Today I'm going to talk to you about the problems, causes, and solutions behind the Electoral College. So the first major problem, like I was saying, is not everybody's vote is equal. According to the NewsTech's blogs, February 17th, 2020, each state gets 2 Electoral College votes before their population is factored in. Then after every state gets 2, then Electoral College votes are given out based on population. But since there's only a certain amount of Electoral College votes, some larger states have to give up some of their votes and give them to smaller states. By doing this, not everybody's vote counts as the same. For example, a vote in Wyoming has 3 times the carry as a vote in California would. So, so basically, if I were to vote in California and my friend were to vote in Wyoming, my friend's vote would have 3 times the value of mine. Basically, they're voting 3 times, but they're just one person, as opposed to me only being able to vote 1 time. The reason that it's like this is so that smaller states or just states with less population have more representation, and so that they can still get attention from the presidential candidates. But according to The Independent, February 4th, 2020, the Electoral College is failing at doing this. In the 2016 election, in the 2 months leading up to the election, 57% of campaign visits were only to 4 states, and those 4 states were swing states. But according to the Electoral College, these smaller states should be getting more attention, but they're not. A lot of smaller states, as well as larger states, aren't getting the attention they should because they're known as safe states, which means that they hold a large majority of either Democratic or Republican votes, which means that depending on whether you're a Democratic or Republican candidate, you either can't win that state or you're going to win it. So either way, there's no point in visiting it and going there and giving it attention. So now that I've talked to you about the problems, let's talk about the causes. So I think the first major cause behind this push to abolish Electoral College is the 2000 and 2016 elections. According to Politico.com, November 15th, 2019, both of the presidents who won these elections lost the popular vote, but won the Electoral College vote. This is what I was saying earlier. The populations are distorted, and they're not true, and they're not equal. So it allows for a president to win the Electoral College votes but lose the popular vote. The system is basically failing us, and I think a lot of people don't like that, and they're pushing to abolish it. The second cause, according to The Guardian, January 12th, 2020, the Electoral College was originally founded to it was originally made to give smaller states with a lot of wealthy landowners some power over the masses of America, basically. They believe that the majority of the people in America weren't educated enough to hold so much voting power, and that some of it needed to be taken and given to these smaller states with more of the wealthy farm owners and things like that. But I don't think this is the case anymore. I think most if not everybody in America is educated, or at least who's voting is educated on what they're voting for, and I just don't think this is I don't think that it's a reason of why we should still have the Electoral College around. So now that I've talked about the causes, let's talk about some solutions. So the first thing we could do, the first solution, would be to make an amendment that would abolish the Electoral College. But according to Richmond Times Dispatch, February 21st, 2020, an amendment would be very hard and very difficult. It would take a long time. You would need 34 states to agree, and the probability of that happening is very low. But according to the Washington Post, December 20th, 2019, there's another alternative solution that would be easier. Something called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact would mean that if a state were to sign it, which 12 states already have, that means that the state would give all of its electoral college votes to the winner of the popular vote. So if enough states sign the compact, then every time, without a doubt, the winner of the popular vote would win the electoral college votes. These are viable solutions. So today I've talked to you about the problems, causes, and solutions behind the Electoral College. America is founded on the belief that we should all be equal, all have the same rights, but the Electoral College goes against that belief, distorts the population, and it doesn't give everybody equal voting rights, which I believe isn't fair and isn't right. So the next time you're voting in a presidential race, just think about how much weight your vote carries, because I guarantee you someone else's vote carries more weight than yours.